Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. My name is Tyler, and today we're going to be getting into some detail stuff on the exterior of the WRX. The car is definitely looking a little dirty right now, and tomorrow I'm headed up to a car meet not too far away from where I live right now, and definitely want the car looking as nice as I can get it. We're not going to get into any kind of clay barring or paint decontamination today, just more of an exterior kind of quick-ish detail, but at the same time we're still going to get down and into it to make it look nice. I want it to look as nice as possible whenever I go to a car meet or car show or anything like that, because it is what I use to try to help promote my auto detailing business. So with that being said, I want you guys to kind of see maybe the way I do things, some products that I use and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and get this thing cleaned up. Alright, well here she is. And, might be a little hard to tell with the lighting that we've got out here. It's very dusty. Cars are very dusty. We just had the majority of snow melt. I mean, you can still see that there's some snow over there on the ground. Little patches here and there. But it gets really dusty after it snows and the snow starts to melt. So definitely want to get this thing cleaned up. I mean, you can see right there where the tires like to spit up some muck and mud and whatnot and road debris. Get all this cleaned up. The wheels are kind of hard to tell. Again, definitely just dusty, being that they are matte black. Clean up the mud flaps, and yeah, just give her a nice bath. So she deserves it. Really dusty. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get into the shed and start getting pressure washer out, get that all set up, get some buckets filled with water, and once we have all that done, we can kind of get some supplies together as well. I might throw them on the cart just to make it a little bit easier for me. Show you guys what's on the cart, and then we'll get out here and get to detailing. So let's go ahead and run you guys through kind of what I'm going to be using today. Keep in mind that some of these bottles that I have out here, the labels on them is not what's in the bottle. I do like to reuse some bottles, just what I do. So let's go ahead and take a look at some stuff. So we're going to start off with our auto shampoo that we're going to be using today. So we're going to be using this Pearl Auto Shampoo from P&S Auto Detailing. It's a really highly concentrated shampoo that you can use in a foam cannon and in a bucket. And we're going to do both of those today, and I'll kind of again show you how I do that. From there, we're going to jump over into our wheel and tire cleaner. We are going to be using this brake buster from, again, P&S Auto Supply. I do use 2 bottles of that actually. So in this spray bottle here, we're going to have just a fully concentrated solution. So I'm just going to pour some more of this straight into the spray bottle here. And then in this IK foam sprayer, we're going to pour a little bit more of that into here and dilute it down with some water as well. So I use both of those. That's just kind of what I do. And I'll show you when we get into the cleaning process. So over here in this bottle, again, don't look at what's on the label, it's not what's in here. So this is going to actually be some Chemical Guys all-purpose cleaner and degreaser, and then this is diluted down with some water as well. Diluting stuff down with water is just obviously going to make your products last you a bit longer, but you also need to take into consideration the strength that you want the product to be. And so this stuff I use like on my wheel wells on the liners, and I do also spray some some brake buster on my liners as well to help with that cleaning process. We will be foaming the car and I use a Max Shine foam cannon nozzle. The nice thing I like about this nozzle is that it fits on any bottle. That's the cool thing. So I could put it on this one, I could put it on this one. I mean, heck, if I really wanted to, I could probably fit it on that one too. So obviously these are a little bit too big for this guy, but again, that's why I like that one, because I can use it on whatever bottle, because bottles are plastic, they strip out. We are going to finish the car off today with some Max Shine Carnauba paste wax. I have not used it yet and I really want to try it. So we're more than likely going to use this stuff and give this stuff a try. If we don't do that, then we are going to be using this wax here. This stuff I typically will use on a DA and apply it with my DA to make the process a little bit quicker. So we got that, and then I'm actually going to try a new process today. Typically I will lay this stuff right here, bead maker, which this right here is a big jug of that I just got in. Normally I will lay this first and then wax over the bead maker. So the bead maker is like a paint protectant, paint sealant, but I've been watching some other videos on YouTube as well, and I actually saw a detailer do the opposite. I saw him wax the vehicle first, and then he went back through with the bead maker and finished it off with that to make sure all the wax was cleaned off of it and the car had a nice top layer coating. So I'm going to try that today, just again trying some new stuff, see how it works out for me, and we'll go from there. And then lastly, we got some window cleaner here, just some invisible glass window cleaner that I pick up at the auto parts store. Nothing too crazy there. It does the job, it foams nicely, and it works good for me. When it comes to cleaning glass, I definitely think that towels are where it's at. It's really important to have a good glass cleaning towel specifically for that, which we'll probably get into in another video in due time. So this is pretty much all the stuff we're going to be using today. Of course, we've got the Ryobi pressure washer over here, and you can come take a look over here as well. So I use a 2-bucket method, technically a 3-bucket method. The other bucket is in the house. I need to go and grab that one and fill that one up with water as well. But right now I basically have a wash bucket, and then I have my wheel tire bucket, which sometimes I just dump the water out, kind of rinse it out, and then refill it and use that as like my rinse bucket. So wash bucket, wheel tire bucket, rinse bucket, but I do change the water before I go into the car washing process. So the first step with my process is to go ahead and hit the wheels and tires all the way around, and for that we've got 2 different bristly brushes in here. One I use for a barrel brush, and then the other one I used to like get up into the wheel liners, and sometimes honestly I just use one, so I might take one of these out of here. And then we've got this guy here, which is really bristly for tires specifically. And then we've got this guy here, which is a little softer for wheels as well. And then we've got one more over here on the cart. And then this guy here we'll use to really get into the wheels, into the lug areas and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and throw that guy in there as well. And let's go ahead and load up some chems, get that all ready to go, and get started on the process. So I'm out here fighting the wind a little bit right now, which is never fun when you're detailing cars. And I'm also fighting my camera battery. I only have one battery with the camera that I'm currently using right now, and it just keeps dying on me like crazy. So I switched over to another one. This one's also about to die, but we'll get it figured out. But you pretty much get the gist of it, I'm sure. We foamed it. I foam it twice. I do a pre-rinse, then I do a pre-foam. And when I do that pre-foam, you probably saw me going around with the detail brush. I go around all of the nooks, crannies, crevices, trim pieces, and anywhere that's really hard for the foam or the wash mitt to get. So that's the reason why I do that. That's just part of my process. And then after that, I do a quick rinse, and then I foam it again. And then after that foam, whatever's left in my foam cannon, I go ahead and dump into my wash bucket. And because there's plenty of soap, I don't want to waste anything. And then I use that, and then I foam up my bucket and go ahead and wash the car. Always start at the top of the vehicle and work my way down. You might have noticed me flipping over the wash mitt as I get down a certain point. Typically what I do there is whenever the wash mitt starts to get lose its soap or lose its lubricity, I'll go ahead and flip it over to the other side, and then once I get to a certain point, I'll go ahead and use my rinse bucket, rinse it, and then go ahead and go back to my wash process. But like I said, I always work down from the top down, and I never go from the very bottom of the car back up to the top, because the very bottom of the car is where a lot of the nasty stuff is going to be, and I don't want to bring that stuff back up to the top of the car potentially and scratch up the paint. And then again from there, just go ahead and give it a nice final rinse down. And as you can see, it's already starting to look a heck of a lot better, or already does look a heck of a lot better. Not even started, just does in general. So now my car does already have some bead maker on it. It's been a while since I've coated it, but you can kind of see in some places where the water is, really beading off and whatnot. Windshield, the top, all that. So it just doesn't stick to the car. If you do a car that's uncoated, you'll really notice that it does not, or the water really likes to cling to the vehicle. So you can see over here how the water is just not clinging in these areas. That's a good thing. So anyways, we got the car done. We also took the roof box off of the Forester and washed it, because it is actually going to go back onto the WRX. But yeah, so now it's pretty simple from here. The next step is going to be to go ahead and dry the car. And before I do that, I am going to pull the car back in over here into the carport to dry it. Like I said, I'm fighting with the wind a bit out here, which is not fun, and definitely need to do some yard work. So I've got leaves and stuff flying all over the place, but it is what it is. Just continue working on the car, get her all dried up nicely, and once we get her all dried up, we'll go ahead and go into the next step. All right, so the drying portion of the car is all done. Went around the whole car, got a good nice hand dry, and dried off the wheels and tires as well. That's the last thing that I do, is dry wheels and tires after the whole car. One note that I did want to make is good drying towels is definitely helpful. This one's not the best drying towel. It's just a Pro Elite from like O'Reilly's or AutoZone or whatever. It's a single loop towel. I do have some better ones that I like to use that just soak up the water like nothing. But drying towels can get kind of expensive. I do like a bigger towel as well, nothing smaller than this, I would say, for drying the vehicle. But I was able to get the whole car done with this, and I could probably do 2 more cars if I needed to with the same towel. The reason why I say a good towel is a couple different reasons. One, you don't want to spread the water around. I do notice, like with this towel specifically right here, it almost soaks up water a lot better when it's already damp. It says kind of a lot for a towel. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. A lot of my towels do that, but just over time they do get worn and used a lot. So I do need to re-up my towels and get some new towels, and when I do that, I'll make sure to make a video on that as well. But a good towel, someone's getting it. A good towel definitely makes a world of difference. We'll go ahead and grab the camera here really quick, show you guys a couple other things. So you do get some spots, you know, like down here, you got a little bit of water seeping out. Along the mirrors a lot, you got water seeping that'll seep out over time. I think I have a drip mark over here on this side, maybe down here towards the bottom. Normally, I will use my air compressor for stuff like that to blow the water out and go around it again with a towel. Or if I'm trying to dry a car a little bit quicker and, you know, still use a towel to finish it off, but dry it a little bit quicker just in general, I'll sometimes even use my shop vac, and then I'll just switch it to the side that blows air instead of sucks air, and that definitely helps speed up the process. But when you do that, you can really only do that with cars that have already been coated, whether it's a ceramic coating, a good sealant, a good wax, so that way the water just rolls right off the paint. Otherwise, you're just not really doing anything, and it's just gonna add another step to what to your process. So, but she's looking really good now. We haven't waxed it or anything yet. Just simply nice, solid, detailed hand wash. Wheels look good, a lot better than it was looking before, that's for sure. It's looking really nice and shiny there. So, and again, those drip marks I'm not too worried about right now, because tomorrow, once I get to where I'm going, I'm probably gonna hit it with a waterless wash. Just a concoction that I have, which one day I'll go over. But yeah, she's looking really good. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next step, which is going to be waxing it. And I am gonna go ahead and give this stuff right here a try and see how it works. It's gonna take a little bit longer, being that I'm doing it by hand, not by spray or anything like that, or with the DA. The DA can be quick, or it can take a good amount of time. It just kind of depends. But I want to try. I really want to try that stuff. I've had it for a while, and we'll see how it works. So let's go ahead and jump right into waxing it. This stuff definitely smells like low-key cinnamony. Smells good, I will say that. So we got this stuff here, and then with that, to apply it, we're gonna go ahead and use just a small little foam wax applier. All right, well, that was actually really quick. A little bit goes a long ways with that stuff. You can see I got some stuff stuck up in the hood scoop a little bit. We'll just have to wipe that down when it comes time to wiping the whole car. So I probably should have read the directions. Let's see here what it says. Apply a thin, even layer, allow time after it's applied. So it doesn't really give a time frame. We'll kind of see. It doesn't even say apply by hand or with a DA polisher for best results. So that's cool. So I guess I could use this for on a DA. Like I said, we'll see how it works, how I like it. We're gonna go ahead and continue with the rest of the car, coating it. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to the roof and just do one side of the car, and then I'm gonna move over to the other side of the car, and we'll get this whole thing waxed up. Alright, well, we got the whole car coated with that wax, and I probably used more than I should have, but at the same time, didn't use much out of the tub. So it went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to, which is good. And I'm gonna walk into the shed because the wind noise is killer. But yeah, so now it's just a matter of time. We gotta wait for it to haze up. Once it hazes up, we're gonna go grab some microfibers, some clean microfibers, and we'll give her a nice wipe down, and she'll have a nice fresh coating of wax. Time frame doesn't say on the box, but I'm gonna say probably like 10-15 minutes or so. It's hazing pretty quickly out there right now. The breeze or wind is definitely probably helping, but yeah, so we're gonna wait for that to finish hazing, and we'll give it a nice wipe down. It's hazed up pretty nicely now, so I've already started kind of wiping down some of the roof up here, and it's looking really good. I really like it. Definitely in the areas that I applied it a little bit thicker or a little harder to wipe, but no big deal. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and just continue wiping down the whole thing. Hopefully the wind doesn't pick up too much here so you can hear me, but got her all nice and wiped down after that nice hand waxing, and holy crap, I am impressed. Like, this is really nice wax, super shiny, shimmery finish. Again, the wind sucks because I'm over here wiping the car down trying to keep it clean, and I turn my back for 1 minute and look, and it's dirty already. But I'm doing the best I can with what I have, and that's all you can do. So, but it's looking really good, really nice and shimmery and shiny. Cannot wait till it's time to repaint correct this thing. It needs it. When I start looking at the paint really closely, there's a lot of minor surface scratching that once I paint correct it, I'm gonna get rid of it all. I'm gonna try to make this thing look as new as I possibly can. I might even take it in for some PDR work. Get a couple dents popped. Car's been cross country, so it's the body's seen some time. But she's looking great. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into our second to last step, essentially, which is going to be hitting it with some bead maker. Again, normally this is something that I do first, hit it with bead maker, sealant first, and then I go in with the wax, but I wanted to try something a little bit different. Like I said, I saw it in another video, and I wanted to try it for myself and see how I liked it. So, man, it's already looking really good. Like, I'm seriously impressed with this wax. Really good. So, final wipe down with the bead maker. Make sure we get all of if we missed any wax residue, get all that off with this final wipe down. And that was kind of my reasoning of wanting to do the bead maker for my final wipe. The bead maker finishes off the car very, very nicely. So I figured, you know what, for my final wipe down, I might as well try that, and that way I can make sure I get all of that paste wax off of the vehicle. So we're gonna jump in with the bead maker now, get that done. I got 2 edgeless microfibers right here. If that won't work, we'll grab some more, and then we're gonna finish it off with some Chemical Guys VRP on a Max Shine tire sponge, essentially. So we're gonna get the tires coated, we're gonna get the mud flaps coated, and then we're gonna get some of the black trim coated as well on the car, just to give that nice deep finish. So let's go ahead and hit this guy with some bead maker, and then we'll move on to the VRP. There goes a pair of pants. All right, so we got the whole car bead makered, and it's looking mighty nice. And in the process of bead makering the car, two awesome things happened. One, I ripped my jeans, so that's awesome. And two, the postal guy came by and knocked over my mailbox. Apparently the mailbox is staked down pretty well though, so that's a good thing. He was able to, straighten it back up and whatnot, and it's still a little crooked, but hopefully USPS will go ahead and take care of that, because I really don't feel like dealing with that. But if whatever, it is what it is. Accidents happen. Anyways, back to the car. The car's looking great. It's looking cherry. Got that bead maker on it, that wax on it. Again, like I said, the wind out here is killing me. I do know that P&S makes something to potentially combat that issue of like it almost attracting stuff. Again, it's a dark car, so you really notice it and see it. And I've heard other complaints of, bead maker like attracting dust and stuff like that. Yes and no. It's dust. It's just dust. It's gonna land wherever it lands. It is what it is. So I cleaned the car up as good as I can today, and then tomorrow when I go to the meet, when I get there, I'll go ahead and hit it with either some more bead maker as a quick detailer, or I'll hit it with my waterless wash solution that I use. So, windy. So one or the other, but the car's looking great. So we're gonna go ahead and finish it up here with the Chemical Guys VRP on the tires, mud flaps, and then some of the black trim as well. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, well, there we go. Got that guy all finished up. Actually, it's a girl, just FYI. Got her all finished up. Looking nice and shiny, nice and protected. Wheels and tires are looking great. So, there you go. That's my exterior detail process for the most part, minus the clay bar, paint decontamination removal. But car's looking great. As you saw, it's looking really shiny. Best I could do for the circumstances with the wind and the dust and stuff like that outside right now. Whenever I give a car back to a customer, I make sure to do another final wipe down, typically with bead maker or my waterless wash solution that I use. Usually bead maker, sometimes maybe even just like a quick detailer, but you could use the bead maker for that. Something I like about the product, it's just very versatile. So those are the products I use. Those are the steps that I take to detail a vehicle. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and there are going to be a lot more to come, very similar to this or just like this as well. Good news is that I am getting a new camera. Tomorrow I'm picking it up. So future videos will hopefully be a lot better. I was fighting. This is the camera that I'm using right now. It's just a Canon Rebel T6 and I only have one battery for it. And so some of this video has been on that camera and some of this video has been just shot on my phone, which does the job, but I do like using my phone for listening to music and stuff like that whenever I'm detailing. So having a camera definitely does help. The footage, I feel, looks a bit better as well on the camera. And again, this is just something I enjoy. I enjoy filming. I enjoy the editing process and putting the video out there for you guys to watch. And hopefully this will help some of you guys out there that might want to get into detailing or even just detail your own vehicles. As time goes on, we'll go ahead and get into some other more in-depth videos as well of the equipment and the products that I use, and different processes that I might use along the way also. So I really like that wax that I use, and to be honest with you, I really liked using the wax first and then the bead maker after, because I was able to give it a nice final wipe down, make sure I got all that wax residue off of the car, and then the car's still protected and extremely shiny and looking great. So one more look at the car really quick here. Bah. Looking really good from where we first started. Shoo. Oh yeah, I'm very happy with that. So lots of stuff coming in the future, some car videos, some work we got to do on this guy. Wanting to do a lot of exterior bits to it that I would like to film as well. And then I got some work on the Forester that I'm going to need to be doing here pretty soon also. So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Check it out. Check out my Instagram, WRXN_TY is the Instagram. And then also Instagram for auto detailing is at Hansens Auto Details. HANSENS Auto Detail. So again, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.